So a lot of people might see a video like this and think that it's like this in Florida all the time. And the reality is that's just not the case. But this is a really beautiful day in winter in Florida in January 2020. The way you see the weather here today is probably the best that it really gets in Florida. This is my favorite kind of weather. You know, it's like 73 degrees outside. There's not a single cloud in the sky, which is pretty uncommon here. We usually get, you know, partly cloudy, mostly cloudy days. And this is just as good as it gets in Florida. But it's not like this every day. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about moving to Florida. Everybody has this grand fantasy that it's always like this, it's just beautiful every single day, and it's just not true. This is no doubt one of my favorite parts about living in Florida, is just coming down to the beach like this and relaxing and getting sunshine in the middle of January when the rest of the country is pretty much under a sheet of ice. So I've been through both sides of it, and I can definitely tell you that spending winter in Florida is the shit. So if you can even get down here as a snowbird and spend a few months of winter down here, I would say it's well worth it to do that. Not everybody can live down here permanently, or maybe you don't want to live down here permanently. And, you know, for years people have been coming to Florida as snowbirds, and I can definitely see why. It's such a beautiful place to be in the winter. There's only a handful of places in the entire United States that are actually warm this time of year, so this is probably one of the best ones. I would either rather be here in Miami or maybe in Los Angeles in wintertime, because these are the only two places I can really think of, and by looking at the weather map of the country, where it's just beautiful this time of year. Everywhere else is just freezing, and that long cold winter just gets old. So now that you guys have seen how beautiful a winter day can be here, I'll also show you some of the shitty winter days that we can have as well, because it's not all roses living down here in Florida, and winter in Florida is beautiful, but there are some days that are not so beautiful, so I'll be sure to show you a little bit of both. But while we're out here, let me just show you around so you can see how beautiful it really is out here today. This is my beach. As you can see, nothing but sand, water, beautiful blue skies, hardly any breeze at all. This is like the perfect day. You want to have a little bit of breeze, because with no breeze it just gets too hot, and when it's too hot it can actually feel, you know, just miserable to be on the beach, especially in the summertime. So like this, you can get a real picture of what it's like out here. This is a true winter day in Florida. Look at those blue skies. The water's like super calm today, just some really small waves coming in. Let me get close to the water and show you guys what it's like. Now, if this water was not moving, because there are some days when the water's like a lake out here, it would literally just be like crystal clear. And it actually is pretty clear. I don't know if you guys can see this in the video, but the only reason it looks a little murky is just because there are waves and it kicks up some sediment and sand, so it looks a little bit dirty, but it's not actually dirty. This is my favorite time of year, when the water is just nice and cold and beautiful. So look at this beach. And some footprints in the sand. This is winter in Florida, baby. Doesn't get much better than this. So as you can see, I just got out of the water and it feels magnificent. I'm soaking wet and it feels great. The water is like nice and cold, but it's super warm outside, and just sitting here feeling the sun on your body after that nice cold water is just like heaven for me. It feels so good. I mean, you know, a lot of people don't like it when the water's that cold, but I personally love it. You know, I can't complain because I'm from up north, and everybody else up there is probably sitting under 6 inches of snow right now. while I'm sitting here with 6 inches of warm sand under my feet. So I'm definitely happy. I actually used to do this all the time when I first moved to Miami Beach, and I actually made another video all about just the beach, which you can check out right here. I'll put a link to that for you. I used to come to the beach like probably 4 or 5 days a week when I first moved here, and now I'm lucky if I get here like a few times a month, which really sucks because I live right on the beach. But I guess that's what life is, you know. You just get busy and there's a lot of things to do, and you just have less and less time. Plus you get pickier with the weather. I mean, these are the kind of days I love being at the beach. Super beautiful and sunny like this. When it's like really cloudy and windy, I don't really care to come to the beach because the sand will start blowing around and, you know, get in your eyes and your face, and it's just not fun. And also, if it's not that warm out, then it will actually feel a little chilly. But today is literally the perfect beach day. Remember the other day when it was super beautiful out here? Well, guess what, guys? This is the same exact beach, just a couple of days later. So winter in Florida isn't always what it seems. We have our good days, we have our bad days, just like everywhere else. It's not a constant paradise like a lot of people think. So I'm trying to make this part of the video kind of quickly because it's supposed to be pouring rain pretty soon. I'm getting a few raindrops right now, but it's not so bad. But let's face the reality, okay? It's still 73 degrees here right now, and back where I'm from, it's like 25 right now or something like that. And I know that sucks, and I'll take 73 and cloudy and a little bit of rain any day over 25 ice and freezing. The other thing to keep in mind is that depending on where you live in Florida, it can actually vary drastically the temperatures you're going to experience. So for example, my grandparents just arrived here today to spend some time with me to have like a little bit of a winter getaway in Florida. And yesterday they were in Panama City Beach. They stayed there overnight. And when they woke up yesterday morning and left their hotel, it was only 40 degrees. And the weather was nice and sunny, I heard, but it wasn't warm. So 40 degrees really isn't that warm. So that's a big difference between, you know, northern Florida and southern Florida where I'm at here. And even if you go from like here to Orlando, you're gonna see a difference in temperature, probably at least 10 degrees. So kind of like common sense, you know, the closer you get to the equator, the warmer it gets. So the further south in Florida you go, the warmer it gets. Let me just show you around the beach like I did last time so you can see kind of like what a winter day in Florida is like here when it's not so nice. The water is a lot more calm today than it was the other day. It gets cloudy and gloomy here. We have our gloom and doom days, even though this is the Sunshine State. But overall, it's not bad. You know, I'm wearing a t-shirt, I'm wearing shorts, I'm in my sandals still. Looks like this is about as sunny as it's gonna get today. A little bit of rays peeking through the clouds, but not too much. I'm not the only one that doesn't like coming to the beach on days like this. This is the Carillon Hotel right next door to where I live. And on a nice day like the other day when you saw me out here, all of these chairs would be full with people. And today it's basically empty. I see a few people down here on the end, you know, kind of just hanging out. No one's really going swimming. I see way down there, there's a few people maybe going in the water. If you just want to come out and listen to the waves and relax, or just read a book, something like that, but it's not a day for like getting sun, getting a tan, and enjoying like a true beach day. Point of me showing you this is not to discourage you from coming to Florida in the winter. I just want to show you the reality that not every day is super beautiful like you probably see on TV, but the other day was one of those days, and we get a little bit of both. It's just like everywhere else. The weather fluctuates, and it just, you know, it's normal. It's just the way the world works. The weather can't be perfect every day, but the weather here is pretty great in the wintertime, and I love it. Another thing I noticed is that you guys have been digging these videos that I've been making about Florida, so I plan on making a lot more of them for you. If you have another idea about Florida that you want me to make, put a comment below. I'm curious to know what you think. I actually have a lot of ideas of videos to make about Florida because I've been living here for a long time. But if you have a particular topic you want me to cover, let me know about it. And make sure you keep watching some more of my videos right over here, and I will see you guys there.